Hey, well, Maria Grossbaum, the mixed media artist, is here with you with a new class. Now, many of you know me as a mixed media artist. Yes, it's because I like taking different things and mixing them together. I love experimenting, although this class is going to be more classic-y. So I decided that I'm gonna show you how to create this kind of late fall, kind of beginning of spring, sunset, sunrise-ish landscape. Okay, I think this is a great exercise for you to gain more control and to understand how colors are working. You will know exactly when to stop, when to finish, when to be spontaneous, when to be cautious, when to be very aggressive with your colors. You will have to work fast, you will have to work slowly, you will have to do all kind of stuff. Okay, this is why I love watercolors. And this design is just my suggestion. You don't have to follow this exact design, but I'm going to repeat this particular composition, okay, and we are going to play with warm and cold colors. So without saying too much, let's just get going to the process. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's start. Here is my model painting that you don't need to copy exactly. More than this, I will be very happy if you add your own touches. In terms of colors, I'm going to use my favorite watercolor set by Mugnyo Korean watercolors. Sorry, my Korean is not fantastic. I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. You will need two different sizes of brushes, thicker and thinner, masking tape, board, watercolor paper. I'm using rough 300 gram by Arches. I really love this professional paper, and I guess we're good to go. Oh, I forgot one thing. We will also need water sprinkler. Okay, now when I'm looking at my paper, I think it's a little too big. I'm going to cut it in two, and it will be approximately 5 by 9 inches. For our exercise, this size is good enough. Okay, great. Now I'm placing this paper right in the middle of the board and fixing it with masking tape. Making sure that I get beautiful, even frame. Okay, sweet. So before I start using my watercolors, I like sprinkling some water on the paints, because this way I will get a lot of pigment. And then I sprinkle the whole area of my paper. Technically, this sunset painting is created with two steps. First, we will create blurry background. We will wait till everything is dry, and then we will add branches, the final details. That's it, very simple. So let's focus on creating a blurry but very colorful background. And at this point, you want to become this aggressive, impulsive artist. Please remember, you don't have to follow my exact composition. If you decide that you want to have your sun not exactly in the middle of your painting, please go for it. I really appreciate any experimental mind. Use thicker brush for this step. The thinner brush we will need for smaller details. Also sprinkle as much water as you want. More is better. And at this point I'm going to speed up the video because you know exactly where I am and what I'm doing. I'm using my watercolor set with only 12 colors. Also, I'm not going to use a white tone. I do it on purpose. my purpose is to show you that you really don't need a big variety of colors in order to create an impressive composition. What I have in mind when I create the background is that right in the middle of my painting I'm going to have yellow, orangey, and red splashes indicating a location of the sun, and then gradually towards the upper part of the painting there will be a gradient when warm colors are transformed into blues, purplish, brownish colors. And below the horizon line I'm gonna have darker tones where my trees are. I really like this part of my creation because here I really don't know what is going to happen when my colors are going to get dry. It's going to be a pure surprise. I know for many artists it is a challenge. It is a challenge for myself as well, but I really enjoy it because it is an interaction between my intentions and the characters of my paints. Watercolors always surprise you, and that's why I love them. I also wanted to mention a quality of my materials. I know that result really depends on the quality. Higher the quality is, more impressive the result. So if you have some really good watercolors and good watercolor paper, please use it. But if you don't have it, even if you don't have watercolors, but you have any other type of water-based colors like gouache, acrylics, acrylic inks and so on, please use them. Nothing should stop you from experimenting, but remember, it is a special joy to work with high quality materials. Well, I think I'm getting there. I think I'm liking what I'm doing. I keep in mind that once my background is dry, it's going to be a little lighter, which is fine. But yes, knowing when to stop in time is also another really good skill to have. So I'd better stop right now. Alright, so looks like we've got some progress going on here. Take a look. So we worked with wet colors, and this is what it looks like when it's dry, and I love it. I already love it. I can already see, you know, some like kind of like vegetation, some trees, you know, in the background. I love this really powerful sunny sky, sunsety, sunrise-ish background. I think we have a lot going on already, and technically it already looks like a finished painting, but remember, we have to add some details. This is our original painting, so let's work a little bit on these stems, these trees, and we will add a couple of smaller details, and we're good to go. What do you think? But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Even I like my background now. When I look at it, I think my sun needs more red orangey tones in order to stand out more, because after all, the sun, even being blurry, it's still my focal point, my main point that I seize first. Well, I'm actually very happy that I have to retouch my background, because it will show you that even when you think that your background is all beautiful, organic, you know, all looking complete, you could still retouch it. You could still add organic splashes and washes, and the best way to do it is to splash some water using water sprinkler, and then lightly touch with desired tone in the desired areas. Yes, I think it was a very good decision adding these strong red tones. They made my painting look even more dramatic, even more energetic, and that's what makes it attractive. So it's a good moment to tell you that don't be afraid, splash colors. Maximum you're going to fail and you will have to start over again. But remember, every effort counts, every intention is important. And of course, there are failures, which is totally normal, and it is a part of the learning curve that is unavoidable. So now when I'm fully satisfied with my background, I'm ready for the second part, for the part where I'm going to add beautiful thin details. Although it is important before applying the details to make sure that your paper is fully dry. And also for the details, you need your thinnest brush. So for the silhouette, I'm using a mix of brown, blue, purple, and even black tones, nicely diluted with water. So we will start off with some distant grasses. Remember, details in the distance are more pale. Make sure that your mix of colors is not very dark, because it will create some visual misunderstanding. Many of my students tell me that I make things look so easy. Well, trust me, I've painted quite a few grasses before, and I'm telling you this in case you don't really feel the movement. You can practice on a separate piece of paper. And another tip for you is to change orientation of your working area in order to find a right angle for the grasses. As you can see, the grasses in the background that dried by now are more pale, and this is what I meant when I said that objects in the distance, they should be more pale and smaller. Objects in the foreground should be darker and bigger. Well, I'm satisfied with the amount of grasses, and now I want to add some thin branches of the trees in the background. So at this point, when I paint the tree branches, I don't want to overcomplicate things. I don't want to paint each details. It is enough to create some tangled, not straight, thin lines and some dots that are indicating tree buds. Now let's take a closer look. Yeah, I think this is good enough. And again, I keep in mind that these particular branches are in the distance, so they are not very dark, but the ones that I want to be in the foreground, I want to make them bigger and darker. I know it sounds like a lot of information, but you will see what I mean once I complete my painting. So I'm going to speed up the video and just play, and this is what I suggest for you as well. Try to find this creative touch and let your hand dance on the surface of the paper and create silhouettes of plants. It doesn't have to be necessarily trees. As I mentioned before, you can try and create silhouettes of flowers, seed pods, different shapes of grasses. Find a nice reference or your own photograph and try to copy the silhouette. And here is a little tip for you. When you paint silhouettes over the sun area, you don't have to use dark colors. See, like I've added my branches in light brown and dark orange. Yes, this effect really is happening in the nature when branches and other details are lit from behind with sun rays. you want to bring some objects to the foreground, make them bigger and darker. Also, another aim of this whole exercise is to train your eye in search of beauty, the beauty that sun rays create. I personally find it absolutely fascinating, hypnotizing, and probably the most beautiful thing ever, the rays of sunlight, especially if it is happening in very early morning hours or in the sunset. They bring a lot of warmth and long shadows and create this very, very special mood that inspires me and inspires a lot of artists. I mentioned artists. Yes, if you're still not a part of my community, part of my Abyssimo school teachings, there is a really cool Facebook group. It's called Abyssimo Open Studio Group, and I'm going to add a link below this video. It's an amazing community of artists from all over the world, and there you can find a lot of tips, a lot of inspiration, appreciation, and support, and I strongly recommend to join this community. Also, for my YouTubers, I'm happy to show you my courses. I teach mixed media and different techniques that I've created by myself. Please check all these important links, and I really hope to see your work in my creative community. Please don't be shy and share your results. Well, by now I'm happy with the amount of the silhouettes. I think that in this empty sky area I'm gonna add a couple of birds. Yes, I think silhouettes of birds was a great idea. And yes, that's it. I'm happy with my painting. I'm not going to add anything else. And here comes this exciting moment to get rid of the masking tape to see my beautiful white frame around my beautiful painting. Let's see how it's gonna look. I'm excited. I have to say that this is my most exciting part, you know, when your work is complete and then you get the frame and you're like, wow, that looks fantastic. So, or maybe not. Well, I really hope that it's gonna look good. Yeah, it looks good. Now, I speeded up the video, but I'm taking this masking tape off really, really slowly, gently, in order not to destroy the surface of the paper. Well, I hope you enjoyed this exercise. I personally think that this exercise is excellent for the moments when you lose your creative inspiration. These two approaches, first creating this vigorous, energetic, colorful background and then adding elegant and subtle details, is very, very helpful in order to wake up your inner artists. Well, I can't wait to see what you will create. Please don't be shy and post your results in Abyssimo Open Studio Facebook group. Join my channel, join my school, join my creative community, show me your results, take other free and paid classes. Please enjoy discount for my lovely YouTubers. If you want to show your appreciation, you can buy me a coffee. Again, it was Maria Grossbaum from Abyssimo Mixed Media School. I'll see you around and happy creating.